So we have something very, very interesting on the horizon, my fellow peasants, that I'm very excited to be talking to you about today, because World of Final Fantasy in all of its punny, chibi, cheesy, ridiculous glory, it was such a great game. And I've been saying for the best part of 2 years that it is very much deserving of a sequel. That's exactly what could be happening, guys, but it seems like it might be on us. So if anyone hasn't seen the news, World of Final Fantasy is going to be coming to the Switch. That will be happening on the 6th of September, which is in a week. God damn. Oh wait, it's September already. But there will also be a Square Enix live stream available just the day before on the 5th, where featured director Hiroki Chiba, among other guests, will come to talk more about the world and various new information before its releases. In case anyone isn't aware, World of Final Fantasy is getting a DLC update, and it is a big one. We have been slowly getting more details releasing on what's going to be in this DLC over the last week, and this is World of Final Fantasy at Maxima. And just to name a few of the things that's going to be coming, we're going to be having new characters. We're going to have Zack Fair, yes! We're also going to have Yshtola and the man Noctis, in which we're going to be able to fish with him. We're also going to be able to change which character comes into combat with us. They're introducing an avatar change system in which Reynn and Lann, we're going to be able to change them into any character we like and include them in our stack. Nice, nice, nice. That's on top of a whole load of new mirages. It's Mel and S-Size Mirage, Dramuth, Shiva, Ixion. This is very nice. There's also going to be Syldra, which is extremely cool. There's also going to be some revision on the story. Not revision, sorry, that's a terrible word for it. Addition to the story, in which supposedly, and I covered this funnily enough in a recent video about Final Fantasy endings that were incomplete and could be teeing up a sequel. This Final Fantasy Maxima DLC, we could be touching on the story of what happened to them after they went through the Ultimate Gate, as well as a certain part of the story where we're going to be able to challenge Enna Kros herself, Alexander, the Booty on the Big Bridge, one of the most powerful characters in the Final Fantasy universe, and we're going to get to fight her at the Ninewood Hills coffee shop. I'm more excited for this than a 26-year-old man should be. So there's a lot happening in this DLC, and I've got to say I am impressed with it, especially after listening to some of the tidbits from a recent Gamatsu interview with the director himself, Chiba, in which he said that for this DLC they really didn't have much of a big budget. He said, to be completely honest, our budget was low, so what we could do was very limited, but we used our time carefully and did what we could. He also went into some other details, like how this coming over to the Switch was quite a challenge, quite a tricky thing to overcome, because the engine it was using was the Orochi engine, and nothing had ever gone onto Switch before using that engine. As for the PS Vita version, that lacks sufficient memory and was not able to support this Maxima upgrade. Again, the game tells a bit of the after story of Lann and Reynn. Now this is the one I'm most excited for. While there are no plans for a sequel, I have fully written the story. If Square Enix gives us its approval, we can start development right away. Wow! But, of course, the big question is, are Square Enix going to give Chiba and the World of Final Fantasy team the approval to do it? Well, this happened to coincide with a little Twitter post that somebody threw out to me. Shout out to whoever sent this. I haven't got your name in front of me right now, but they sent over a Dengeki untranslated article in which Square Enix, well, actually no, that's wrong, I should say Chiba, the director himself, said that if they wanted to get the sequel to happen, then Final Fantasy Maxima, this DLC update, would have to do well. How that does, how it's received, and how many people play it. So this is a message from a very avid World of Final Fantasy fan. I thought the game was hilarious, totally and just shamelessly ridiculous, but in a way that I could actually tolerate, with all these brilliantly designed characters and monsters, the combat system. While I've got to say, out of all of the beautiful polish that was in this title, the combat system did miss a few tricks, but that was more than easily offset by these gorgeous anime cutscenes and a story that was actually deep and thought-provoking. So would I love them to continue? Yes, I would. But finishing off this article, not much else there, but one of the points they made was that some people wondered if Lann's puns were really necessary. To which I say yes. Alright, maybe a little bit. Alright, maybe a few times he put a few too many puns in the oven.
I have no idea how to react to that.
But Square Enix were wondering whether or not they were necessary from the community feedback, so they actually went through and considered an option of turning them off, and they had actually practically finished creating this option to turn off his puns, but then they felt so bad for him that they thought better of it. I don't know how to interpret that. I don't know, maybe once they'd taken out the puns, there was nothing left of Lann as a character.
Oh, a mirage?
What? It talks? Oh, I indeedly needly am a mirage. But I'm also the train conductor, so... tickets, please!
And then the final point is, Chiba says, for the second playthrough, I considered an element for audio commentary from the characters that appear in each cutscene, but I threw that idea aside as it would be too much, too metification. So there we have it, guys, a very quick, short, sharp update, and even kind of just a summoning to anyone who loved World of Final Fantasy and anyone who would like to see a sequel happen, that if you want to see that happen and you're still interested in the game, get Final Fantasy Maxima, World of Final Fantasy Maxima on the 6th. You are going to be able to get it from the PlayStation Store, you're also going to get it from Steam. This is just a Nintendo Switch thing, this is for everyone, and it looks like there's a lot of awesome potential in there. I'm also just looking at this article and seeing Firion in it. I don't know if he was there in the original. No, he wasn't. He's also a new character. Firion is coming to town. I'm going to be going live with this on the 5th to watch that stream if you want to sign on in. We're going to recast our eyes on this beautiful game that was the first ever game that started my live streaming. I was going to say career, I think I'd rather say horror story on YouTube, but also over on Twitch. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Are you excited? Are you thinking about playing? And do you want this already written sequel? They're supposedly, from right now, ready to go and start development. Do you want it to happen? Let me know in the comment section below. Until the next video. Goodbye!